Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. And today we are talking comic books yet again with another comic book haul. So in the coming weeks here, you will see an omnibus haul video and then a whole new format to me. Anyway, it's not a new format, but new to me that I'm collecting. That's in a separate video. But today is basically everything else that doesn't fit into either the specific format that I'm starting to collect or the omnibus format. So 7 titles to get through today, mostly from DC, but there's one Marvel and one Valiant in here as well. So let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into another comic book haul. Alright, so let's get started with the lone Valiant title in today's pickup, and I think, frankly, this is my only Valiant title in my collection now, but this is XO Man of War by Robert Venditti, and this is part of the Valiant Hero Universe Origins collection. So they released recently, I think last year, a number of these, a handful of different, like, origin collections, and they're just collecting issues like 1 through, this is 18, for example, of the 2012, I believe, reboot that Valiant did, where they rebooted almost all, if not all, of their superheroes. So this is supposed to be an amazing story and one that I have always been interested in reading. So I had to pick this one up and see what it was all about. You can see some of the artwork here. It looks beautiful, and the story itself is just supposed to be great. There are a handful of these that I would like to read, but I'm starting with this one just to see if Valiant is for me because, like I said, I don't think I own any other in my collection. So I thought this would be a great place to start, and then we can go from there. But the artwork looks beautiful on this, and the story is supposed to be great. So this is the first 18 issues of XO Man of War from 2012, part of the Valiant Hero Universe Origins collection. Alright, let's move over to the Marvel book I have for this video. Now, that said, I have a ton of Marvel books to show in another video. I thought this was actually part of that line, but it's not. This is separate. But this is Star Wars Legends, The Thrawn Trilogy by Mike Baron. So, this includes the graphic novel adaptations of the Thrawn Trilogy, which is arguably the most infamous of the Star Wars Legends trilogies at this point. It was kind of always considered back in the day that these were the sequels to the original films that we never got. So obviously that's changed now with the Disney purchasing of Star Wars, but still really cool to have in the collection. So this is all from the mid-90s, and you can see the artwork follows suit there. But yeah, really looking forward to diving into this. I just finished another Star Wars book recently. Absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, to continue that series is very difficult because they're all out of print. So I'm hoping for an omnibus reprint of that. That's the Star Wars Legacy. I believe it was Legacies. Anyway, loved it. But yeah, so this one I am very excited to check out. So this is Star Wars Legends, The Thrawn Trilogy. Next up is another DC Compact Edition that I recently picked up because I had a $5 off coupon at Barnes & Noble. This is Harley Quinn and the Gotham City Sirens. So I've never read this before, or any of these characters really before, but looking forward to it. The artwork on this is really good, so I'm excited to see how this story is. This one collects issues 1 through 13 of Gotham City Sirens, so hopefully this will be an enjoyable story. This is by Paul Dini and Guillaume March, I believe is how you would say that name. But yeah, looking forward to finally checking out some of these characters in here. This is Harley Quinn and the Gotham City Sirens, which collects issues 1 through 13 of Gotham City Sirens. This next one is just a random Ollie's pickup. So I had a 15% off coupon that was about to expire over this past weekend, so had to run up there and see what they had, and I found Earth 1. Now this one contains the Earth 1 stories for Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Teen Titans. Never read anything about Earth 1, but I know that the Wonder Woman Earth 1 is available as a DC Compact Edition, but this was $10, and it includes 3 stories in a larger format versus the smaller compact size. So to me, it was a no-brainer to try this to see if this is any good or not. So had to grab this one, and like I said, the 3 different stories in here are all represented with really beautiful artwork. So I'm hoping this one will be very good. Obviously, it's pretty popular if it ended up as a DC Compact Edition, but we'll see if it's a good story or not. That must be the Green Lantern, and then move to the back here, see if I can get to the Teen Titans side of things. This has to be Teen Titans in the back there. So, yeah, we'll see how this is. I don't know much of anything about Earth 1 versus what that means. I don't even know what that means, really, but there's a story so far section in the front, so hopefully that'll catch me up enough. This is Earth 1, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Teen Titans. So these next two are both part of the DC Finest collection, which is the DC equivalent of the Marvel Epic collection. But this first one here is called DC Finest Events 0 Hour Part 1. So, or Crisis in Time Part 1. So this is by Dan Jurgens and Jerry Ordway. And this is from 1994, so I like this on the back because it always points out like what era this is from or what years are covered in this Finest edition. And so that's what we're dealing with here is 1994. Bunch of different collected issues with this because it is an event story. So lots of different things like Batman, it shows on the back here, Batman, Detective Comics, Steel, Flash, 0 Hour itself, Superboy, Superman. So just a whole bunch of different runs that are put together for this one story. So really looking forward to reading this. Part 2 just came out last month, I think it was, and that's what got my interest. And so I thought, well, I need to start with Part 1, obviously, so I'll check out Part 1 and see how that is. So this is the DC Finest Events line, 0 Hour Crisis in Time, Part 1. And the other DC Finest I grabbed was the first one I picked up because it is just one of the greatest stories ever told. We have Batman Year 1 and Year 2, and this is just an incredible collection here. This thing is thick and it is beautiful. So obviously, if you're a big comic book fan, you probably have read Batman Year 1, but myself, I've not actually read Part 2. And so that's what I'm really looking forward to diving into because I love Part 1 and I just can't wait to see what else there is here. So this one is really cool. The years on the back here are 1986 and 1987. Just a really fun run if you haven't read it. This is Batman Year 1 and Year 2 from the DC Finest collection. And last but not least is actually a new release from last month, and this thing is just gigantic. That is a thick boy through and through. But this is the Death and Return of Superman Compendium. So like I said, this one just released last month, and this story is excellent. This is really the first Superman story I'd ever read, and I read it during COVID, so not even that long ago, but it is just really well told. It's very entertaining, but I've never read past the death of Superman. That's the original graphic novel that I owned, or collected issues that I own. And so I wanted to check out the return of Superman as well, and this one was under $60 on in-stock trade. That's where I ended up buying this from. So it was a no-brainer. I'm really excited. I guess that's spoilery, but I mean, the whole thing is spoilery just given the title. But yeah, like this is just really awesome. Like I cannot wait to spend the time with this one and finally go into this. Now there is a omnibus for this as well, I believe, but this one was just new and cheaper, so I decided to go this route. But the artwork on this looks fantastic. Look how thick this thing is, though. It's humongous. So yeah, this is a big one, but happy to have it. The cover price is $59.99, so maybe it was closer to 40 bucks on in-stock trades. They're always very cheap when they first come out on there, so highly recommend them if you haven't used them. But anyway, this is Superman, The Death and Return of Superman, the Compendium edition. All right, so that was basically everything else that doesn't fit into one of the other videos that I'm getting ready to film over the next coming weeks here. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this look at some more of my recent comic book pickups. But I want to hear from you down in the comments below. Have you read any of these? And if so, what do you recommend I put at the top of my list that I maybe haven't read yet? And is there anything else based on this that you think I might love that I haven't shown already? Let me know that down in the comments below as well. But that is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end here. That really does help out the channel. And before I let you all go, I'll just encourage you all to consume some media today. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you all next time.